Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm Crendor and welcome to my Warcraft 3 in World of Warcraft video. This was inspired by, number one, me playing Warcraft 3 so much, as you've seen on my channel, and I saw a thread on the WoW Reddit by Tanking with Guns who made some Arthas/Lich King in-game lore spots you may have missed, and I thought, that would be really cool to make a video of all this and kind of just recap like what's happened in my Warcraft 3 Let's Play so far, and just all the cool things you see in Warcraft 3 put into WoW that I may have not even noticed, or you may have not even noticed when you were actually playing the game. So let's take a look. First up, we have the Defense of Strahd, which is Chapter 1 in the Human Campaign, which is the Orcs have uprisen in southern Lordaeron and have forced the Alliance to take decisive measures to contain the Orcish threat. And it's the first mission. You get Arthas, and you go and defend the city and kill all the Blackrock Orcs and everything. So this is Strahd in WoW. I remember seeing this place and being like, whoa, what is this? And now I'm like, whoa, this actually has some relevance to me now. So it's up in the Alterac Mountains-ish area. You can go check it out. I think there's some quests there right now, but I never knew that was the actual place in Warcraft 3. Next up, we got Anderhall, and that is where we find Kel'Thuzad for the first time, and it's also where we find that all the plagued grain has been shipped out to the cities, and Arthas is like, no, it's too late. And Anderhall has been destroyed. So obviously in WoW right now it's being rebuilt, which is kind of cool. There's still more parts of Anderhall that are burned down, but I like going through WoW and seeing these types of things like, wow, I can now relate to this instead of it just being some random place that I had to go questing. And that's what I really wanted to happen in Warcraft 3, or by playing through Warcraft 3. So yeah, Anderhall. Next up, we have Hearthglen, and that's where Jaina and Arthas arrive after Anderhall, and they're like, hey, we can get some rest here. And then they're like, hey, we fed the grain from Anderhall to all the villagers. And Arthas is like, oh no. And then they all start turning, and you gotta defend them off until Uther gets there. And yeah, that's Hearthglen. I didn't actually know that was Hearthglen either. I am learning a lot. Next up, we have Stratholme, and here's all the units I failed at controlling when I played the game. But I'm going to show you a little bit of the cutscenes from the actual WoW instance of the culling of Stratholme. Also, here's Carlin and Marlene Redpath. If you know the Pamela Redpath story, I thought that was a cool little thing Blizzard put in.
This entire city must be purged. How can you even consider that? Damn it, Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city.
You are not my king yet, boy. Nor would I obey that command even if you were.
Then I must consider this an act of treason.
Treason? You lost your mind, Arthas.
Have I? I can only help you with a clean death. That was just the beginning.
Yes, this is the beginning. I've been waiting for you, young Prince. I am Mal'Ganis.
And then Stratholme gets destroyed and stays that way till this very day. The end. And then, of course, Arthas decides to chase Mal'Ganis to Northrend, and he lands there, and they're like, Arthas, come back home. We don't want you there. And he hires mercenaries to go burn all the ships so that nobody can go home, and then he says the mercenaries did it, not him, and they all kill the mercenaries. And then he finds Muradin, and he's like, I found Frostmourne, Arthas. And he's like, Frostmourne, I can use that to help kill Mal'Ganis. And like an idiot, he goes and gets it, and here is Frostmourne. Well, I mean, that's where it used to be. That's where Arthas found it. And it's guarded by these Shadow Warrior dudes. I think there's a quest here now. And you can see like little demon people rising up out of the ground where it used to be, which is kind of cool. And I didn't even know this was a thing back when I was questing in Wrath of the Lich King. And if you look on the ground, you can see Arthas's hammer that he dropped and Muradin's hammer or axe or both. I don't know what those are, but you can see where they dropped them. And apparently they don't get covered in snow or anything. They just sit there protected by their invisible shields. So Arthas gets Frostmourne, he becomes all evil because of it, and then he comes back home to Lordaeron, which is the current Undercity, as you can see by all the beat-up Lordaeron flags on the outside. And everyone's like, yay, Arthas, let's have a parade for him. And so here's some clips from the cinematic, if you want to see. Him coming home at the parade, and all the rose petals falling down, and everyone being like, yay, and then him walking in and killing his father, the king. And what's cool now, a lot of people know this, but a lot of people don't know this. If you'd go into the Undercity right now, you can do this yourself, and you turn up the ambience way up, you can actually hear the cinematic being played as you walk through the parts of the cinematic. So, again, here's parts of the cinematic, and then I'm going to show you the actual walkthrough in the Undercity.
What is this? What are you doing, my son?
Succeeding you, father. This kingdom shall fall.
And then if you go a little deeper into the Undercity, right by the elevator section, you'll find King Taranis' tomb, which is Arthas' father. And if you read it, it says, "Here lies King Taranis Menethil II, last true king of Lordaeron. Great were his deeds, long was his reign, unthinkable was his death. May the father lie blameless for the deeds of the son. May the bloodied crowns stay lost and forgotten." So next we head to Balnir Farmstead, and that is where Invincible, Arthas' horse, was buried until he resurrected him, likely right after all this happened with him killing his father and all that. And it says on his gravestone, "Invincible, beloved steed of Prince Arthas Menethil, loyal and great of heart and life, may you find peace in death, pure streams and green pastures, devoted friend." And you can see his little saddle on the little fence next to him. So Invincible got to come back to life, just not in the way everybody thought he would. Next up we have Uther's tomb, and even though Uther's tomb is not in Warcraft 3, Uther is, and he dies to Arthas, his pupil, trying to fight for what he thought was good and just in the world. And so I thought I had to throw in Uther's tomb, because Uther, he's not just a guy in Hearthstone. Next up is Darkon Drathir, who resides in Deathhome, and the reason he's relevant is because in Warcraft 3, Chapter 3 of the Undead campaign, Arthas destroys an elven village and builds a base. It is believed that base is Deathhome, and the leader of it is Darkon Drathir now, and he is the traitor who allowed Arthas into Kel'Thalas, and so I didn't know that at all, and I don't think a lot of other people knew that. Even a lot of lore people I don't think knew that, so I learned all that, and here is the Dread Scar, or the Dead Scar, not the Dread Scar. I'm all into Dreads now, Dreadlords, but Dead Scar, and this is where Arthas marched his army all the way up to the Sunwell, where he conquered it and brought Kel'Thuzad back to life. So that's pretty cool. So this is a little tidbit of information I thought I'd throw in because I thought it was cool. I found this in the Reddit thread as well from Felt Mountain. He says, "You also forgot the chamber underneath Icecrown Citadel where he threw his heart as soon as he became the Lich King." And I looked a bit more into it because I thought it was cool, and it says that after he lost a fight against Illidan, he cut out his heart and discarded it in Nazanok, the Forgotten Depths, below Icecrown Citadel because he found it to be a weakness to him as he was still human with it. And also there is this little ghost boy who gives out quests for this big quest line, and he is either resembling like Arthas's humility or his humanness, and other people believe it is Yogg-Saron because a lot of the mobs there are related to Yogg-Saron in some way. There's this big conspiracy theory around it, and you can go check it out if you want. And that's that. I decided to conclude this with the Ashenvale Barrens border where the elves and the orcs are fighting each other, and that's where I'm at currently in the Warcraft 3 campaign. I had fun making this. I think it's cool to find all those things in WoW that tie into the Warcraft games. And if you want me to make more of those, leave comments below because I really enjoy doing it. And thanks for watching. Okay? Okay. Boo.